All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honor to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and salutations to the Holy Like Tabernacle of David that is scattered abroad throughout the earth. Now, I just want to share a few words in response to this ordeal with, the IUIC standing next to the NOI, which, this is a fishy business right here because, what have we to do with the Nation of Islam? These guys clearly, they're not believers. They're not doing the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, they serve a whole nother God. All right, and there's already been for years this narrative that the Israelites in Islam, there's no difference outside of, the name of the God that they serve. But a lot of people, they really think that, we're pretty much a similar group, if you will. They'll lump us in with extremism, a hate group. And, there's already been a narrative painted about the Muslims, going back, decades, that, they're willing to kill for their God. But, we follow a different principle than the Nation of Islam. All right. One, Yahushai told us, to, we are to be, basically he told his disciples, I send you in the midst of wolves, but be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So we're not to be confrontational, violent. We're to, be at peace with all men if it be possible. We're supposed to strictly be known for teaching. All right. Known for our ministry, instructing, those who are under the cusp of Satan, preaching repentance to our people. So, we differ from this group. So that means if we're different and we serve two different purposes and two different gods, then why in the hell will we be standing together with them on any basis? This is fishy business. This wasn't a wise move at all. That's why I believe this is pretty fishy. All right. Now, the brothers already, brought the scriptures out on this. One of the main ones being 2 Corinthians 6, where it says, what fellowship do righteousness have with unrighteousness? Like, why would we be unequally yoked together with unbelievers? Right? What would be the point? Because we're supposed to separate ourselves. Let me get it. Second Corinthians 6:14, it says, be you not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion have light with darkness? And if you still in Islam, you still follow that religion, you're still in darkness. All right. Islam is really just an Arabic version of Roman Catholicism. We know that's Islam stemmed from the Catholic Church. Okay. And, you know, it was, of course, during the Dark Ages when they created that religion for the Arabs so that they can take stake for the land of Jerusalem, Israel. You know, because the Arabs had everything, because they conquered everything. All right. But it's still darkness because they serve a whole nother God. Okay. Prior to their God, you know, they were serving, you know, different gods. Each, you know, it was 365 gods. So they were polytheistic until they was taught Islam. And you can go and look this information up. You know, when the word Allah just simply means power or God, but there's many gods. What God do they actually serve? It's definitely not the Most High God of the Bible. That's what they think that they're serving. It says, and what concord have Hamashiach with Belial? Or what part have he that believeth with an infidel? And what agreement have the temple of the Most High with idols? For ye are the temple of the living power, and as the Most High have said, I will dwell in them, and I will walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. Okay? So we're simply to not deal with anybody who's even serving or worshiping another God. Okay? And it tells us that also, and I believe it's the Ephesians, the 5th chapter, to have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. So I wonder, after the camera went off, did they actually teach them dudes? Did they actually correct them? Did they tell them, hey, Islam is a false religion? You know, you're still in the dark. Come over to the light. The Lord's name is not Allah. Of course, they wasn't going to do that. So what business did they have standing up there with the Nation of Islam? For community purposes? Is it for eye service? You want the acceptance that they got because they've been around for decades? And their leaders are compromised. We know Farrakhan is compromised. Ain't no way in hell he could be alive all these years and, you know, Esau ain't clipped him or took him out if he wasn't compromised. You know? And if it ain't him that they serve, they serving this dude, Elijah Muhammad. All these men are false prophets. They're not men of the Lord at all. So to align yourself with these dudes, a bunch of red flags are definitely going up. Let me get another one. Let's go to Sirach 13. At verse 17, it says, what fellowship have the wolf with the lamb? So the sinner with the godly. What agreement is there the hyena and a dog? And what peace between rich and the poor? You know, there's no agreement. Or like the scriptures say in Amos, can two walk together lest they be agreed? Unless there's something going on, right? Maybe there's some conspiracy, which the scriptures do talk about the conspiracy of the prophets and what they do behind closed doors. This is Ezekiel 22 and 24, and it says, Son of man, let me read it in the NLT actually. It says, Son of man, give the people of Israel this message. In the day of my indignation, you will be like a polluted land, a land without rain. Your princes, your leaders, your prophets, right? Plot conspiracies just as lions stalk their prey. They devour innocent people, seizing treasures and extorting wealth, meaning they do everything for money. They make many widows in the land. Your priests have violated my instructions and defiled my holy things. They make no distinction between what is holy and what is not. And these are men who boast in the law more than anybody, but they're standing next to men who worship a whole nother God. I don't care for what cause it is. I'm not finna stand next to a man who worships a whole nother deity. All right. So we're to remain separate and holy. That's not holy behavior to be around these dudes and standing, aligning yourself with them. Absolutely not, man. It says, and they do not teach my people the difference between what is ceremonial, clean, and unclean, i.e. the Sabbath. Anybody that listens to them, they're gonna think it's cool. So they're just gonna, pop their woman and become unclean on a Sabbath day because you teach that. It says they disregard my Sabbath day so that I am dishonored among them. Your leaders like wolves who tear apart their victims. They actually destroy people's lives for money. And that's what they mainly do it for. So I wonder what bag are they getting to do this type of behavior? What are you out there for? You know what I mean? And then, on the sites, when you're listed as a 501c3 under Christianity, but under certain sites, you also listed as a Muslim organization, an Islamic organization. And that's fishy too. And they spoke on this years ago, but they really didn't give any insight to it. They just mentioned it, and then they, started, talking shit. Because you got the bum great camp, because they brought this up and this, that, and third, but they didn't, actually go in and elaborate. Why are you being listed as a Muslim organization? Right. And we know how Esau, he's in accuser mode. All right. They've been trying to make that link between the Israelites and Islam. All right. Especially that demon, Haman vocab Malone, the Agagite. All right. He's been trying to make that link for the longest. You know what I mean? And let me grab it. This is Revelation 12. And I'm going to start at verse 9. It says, and a great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Shaitan, Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with them. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. Which, you go into the word for accuser. The Greek word is kategorio, and it means to slander, falsely accuse. And, what they like to do is they like to put you in a box, that put you in a category. All right. And once they place you into that category, then they can create a narrative, based on that category of people that he wants to demonize. He's been doing this, for quite some time. He does it with his mainstream media, which is pretty much weaponized. And once he do enough propaganda, he does that to work upon your mind psychologically, and instill negative thoughts or negative perceptions about a particular group after he categorizes them. So he'll put you under the terminology of identity extremists or a hate group. And knowing that Esau is doing these things, looking for anything to plaster us with, you're gonna have men doing stuff like that. ISUPK in a gun range practicing shooting. Sakari out there teaching on the highways and hedges with bulletproof vests and assault rifles on their hip. And you got IUIC aligning themselves with the Nation of Islam. Come on, man. What the hell is going on? There's some fishy business going on. There's some conspiracy. It's a lot of selling out. It's a lot of blood money that I'm smelling. Okay? Because, Islam, they already have their reputation in the world. Okay? So, we're not to be associated with that. So let me go from there, because I mentioned it in the comments section. I said this is more agent activity. This makes it easier for E to categorize in accuser mode. They've been trying to make that link between Muslims and Israelites. Not wise at all. Okay? And I'm going to show y'all a quick example of that. All right, let me go here. Because I even, started like a little playlist, and this was like maybe a year ago. I still have the playlist, right? Here it is. The link to terrorism. And, there's like 5 videos where, you get to see how Esau would definitely be able to create that narrative that, we're one and the same with, the Muslims, because, we're seen as a religious group. We have a similar message when it comes to who the oppressor is, who the enemy is, right? Which a lot of things that they follow in Islam is similar to what we follow, because their religion goes back to the Catholic Church, of course, which they get a lot of their beliefs from out of the Bible. Some of our laws that we keep. Islam, pretty much got a lot of their principles out of the Bible, because they believe that they descend back to Abraham as an Abrahamic religion. Okay. But that's the only place where we are similar. But we're really a completely different organization. We do not worship the same. We don't keep the same high holy days. Like we keep the Day of Atonement. They keep Ramadan. Different. And Ramadan isn't even a full 24 hours. But they try to make the connection, a connection that ain't really there. All right. Now, months ago, almost a year ago, and I remember this, where you had this agent right here. He was going around calling himself Army of Yahushai. In all his videos, he's trying to act like he's an Israelite, but he's on camera with these big ass assault rifles. And in his avatar, he had pretty much a so like let me run it back. Y'all brothers remember this. All right. And we have to, give warning to the brethren, because you're going to have demons that's going to be trying to cosplay. You're a bunch of actors and, different guys that Esau finds out there to perpetrate. All right. So you got agents, that are spying out our liberty, that's, trying to be among us. And, the spirit gets on brothers to, point them out, scope them out and warn brothers. So this dude had this Muslim Brotherhood avatar, this emblem as his avatar on YouTube, but he was calling himself Army of Yahushai. So you see right there that there's really, something fishy, something sinister. All right. That they're really trying to, make that move. And like it says in 2 Corinthians, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. Say we're moving in the spirit, man. We have that eyesight. We can see things. And that's why, we're able to identify and point things out and admonish, warn. We're not these other groups, they're dumb dogs, man. They love to slumber. They cannot bark, man. So that means that they're blinded. They can't really see. So how are these dudes true watchmen when they're doing, shit like this? A guy with a Muslim Brotherhood avatar calling himself Army of Yahushai. So the brother Amawan Gabar, he had, did a video on it. Esau trying to link us with terrorism while using agent like this cat. But then you got actual Israelite groups who's supposed to be moving a certain way, and look what they're doing. So these dudes are not being mindful, man. And that's why I believe these dudes are moving like they're compromised. Like we know that the leadership had to have sown out. Because why are they moving this way? They won't get together with no other Israelite group. They don't believe in the unity camp stuff. But you'll stand side by side with the Nation of Islam? And then you got this right here with Vocab, right? He actually knew a Muslim terrorist, and he actually was on the news on CNN. Look at this guy. So we know Vocab, we know what his purpose is. His job is to really make the connection, because he's trying to take down Israelites as a whole. This is Haman in a reincarnation. Doesn't make sense to many. And I wouldn't be surprised if Vocab actually goes live or do a video responding to IUIC and the NOI. I wouldn't be surprised. You're giving him the ammunition. You're giving them what they need.
This pastor believes that this violence in Texas, that it may have felt like a logical step for Elton Simpson. Here's what he says.
I was surprised, but not shocked. I wouldn't put it past him because I understood the sincerity of his beliefs. And he had expressed to me admiration, specifically for Osama bin Laden. He used the word hero.
That dude is an agent for Shaitan, man. He ain't gonna talk about the terrorism that's going on in the Holy Land right now, because he's with them. All right, but his job is to point out the other side. He's always been, I believe Vocab is one of them. Okay, and he has no feelings about what they're doing over there to the people in Palestine, because in his mind, all Muslims, they're all a terrorist. All right. So they deserve everything that they're getting. And then you had another video that he streamed over a year ago, where he had this dude from the Nation of Islam, Khalil Shabazz, and he's complaining about things that the IUIC is basically ripping off from the Nation of Islam. So it's like, what the hell is really going on here, man? Why are you being compared to with the Nation of Islam, and then all of a sudden now we seeing your organization standing alongside with them? What the hell is really going on? Then you see this video at the bottom, comparing Nation of Islam, Black Hebrew Israelism, and Islam. Come on, man. He's been trying to make that link, because he's the accuser of the brethren. So when all else fails, they got a narrative that they can run with, and that's going to lead to what? The persecution. And we know Yahushua, he had to be numbered among rebels and sinners. So the same thing's going to apply to us. You know, the servant is not greater than his master. Okay? So this is what we got to deal with, man. Dealing with these false prophets, moving how they want to move. So this is why, like, let me read the next verse, Revelation 12 and 11. It says, and they overcame him, the accuser, by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they love not their lives unto death. Yeah, we willing to lose our life, you know, for the Lord's sake. So, you know, persecution and slander or whatever is going to come, that's not going to deter us from our love for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and our faith, our loyalty, our fidelity. All right. And some of us, they're going to cast into prison that we may be tried. Like it says in Revelation 2 and 10, will be faithful unto death, and the Lord will give us a crown of life. All right. So this is what we, you know, have to deal with. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devils come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And he's going to definitely move. He's going to try to move on, you know, what we got going, because it tells us in the previous chapter that once the breath got into us and we stood upon our feet, it said great fear fell upon them which saw us. So he's going to feel threatened by our awakening, which, you know, they already feel that way. But they got to, you know, create a narrative to try to figure out how to get us up, you know, out of their hair, so to speak. So that's going to come with, you know, betrayal, our own people coming against us, you know, slander, false narratives from the mainstream media, like they did with the that fake couple from a few years ago at that kosher store in New Jersey, Jersey City. And they were trying to link them to the Hebrew Israelites. And there was no proof that there was any link to the Israelite groups. They might have, you know, posted a couple references to scriptures, and they was calling them anti-Semitic. They happened which we don't know if they was the ones that made those posts. But that's how Esau gets down, man. And he deals very deceitfully. And you can't trust this man. But they're giving the enemy, you know, more space. They're giving them more ammo. So they're not moving wise at all. They're moving in their own on their own accord. They're moving according to their own will. And the Most High is going to deal with them dudes, man. All right. And we're not going to give the adversary an occasion to speak reproachfully. So I just want to, mention that, man. You know, now you should be able to discern between those who really serve the Lord and who doesn't. Malachi 3 and 18. Okay. So going back to this video, man, this is fishy business here. All right. You will never catch us standing with those dudes. If we won't even deal with these other Israelite groups, why in the hell will we deal with them? Something going on, man. And that's pretty much my take. Lord willing, y'all were edified. And until then, I'm going to say, hey, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Brakathum. Shalom.